Hey guys, my apologies for being away for so long, but I've been very busy making things in my free time, many of which I've recorded and will be sharing on the channel. Today, I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of how I made this vinyl record stand that I wall mounted. This sort of setup can easily be adapted to fit 3 or 4 rows even of vinyl. Additionally, I added a mini storage on the side for single LPs. On the other side, I added a now playing shelf and a headphone hook. Getting into the actual cutting of the wood, I started marking out individual points for the mounting and the space for the vinyl so that I knew what the dimensions overall would be. Even though the thickness of the wood that I used is 3/4 of an inch, I accounted for 1 inch on each side and then 12.4 for the sleeves and another inch in the center, another 12.4 on the side, and another inch on the side. That way I have a little bit of wiggle room for the records when they're actually in the slots. The wood I got had a 7.5 inch width, and then I cut the overall length to 27.8 inches. You'll want to cut the 2 side pieces and the center piece with the same angle on top, and then cut a little lip for the bottom so that the records don't slip. For the finishing stain, I used 3 parts golden oak and 1 part gun stock. Wipe the excess and then let it all dry. Then you'll want to cut the 5/8 inch steel rod with a hacksaw. The overall steel rod should go into each end about 1/4 of an inch, so just account for that when you make your total measurement. Once you've mounted up the 2 big pieces and put the rod into the side piece, it's then time to mount the center piece. Test fit with the record and make sure that you have ample room to slide it back and forth. I wood glued it and then set a nail in and kind of hammered it a little bit to just make sure it's perfectly centered. Then on the other side, I marked where the actual rod should go and drilled it in about 1/4 of an inch. Notice the blue tape on the drill bit so that I knew what depth I needed to drill at. This is important so you don't protrude to the other side, which is visible on the outside. Then when you make sure that the side piece is snug and level, you can set in some more nails to finalize that end. While a lot of the prep work can be done solo, the final assembly is definitely a lot easier with the help of a friend. Then finally it was time to mock it up on the wall and see exactly where I wanted to mount it. I checked for some studs and accounted for the projector I have in my room so that it wouldn't interfere and hit. And then we set a leveler on it and popped in some drywall screws as there were no studs where I was mounting it. Then I like to hand tighten the screws just to make sure they're snug. Then as an afterthought, I added a side storage for single LPs. If I had originally thought of this, I could have just made the bottom piece a little longer, and notice there's a little lip on it, just like the headphone hook and the now playing shelf that I made. The lip here is important to stop the record or the headphones from sliding off. I found that for these small pieces, I didn't actually need any nails. I just used some wood glue and just clamped them. As you can see, the singles fit perfectly on the side. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm pretty pleased how this storage solution turned out and how it visibly shows the full record. If you have any questions that were unclear in the video, just please feel free to leave a comment below. I'll be doing a few more record/vinyl related builds in the future, so if you found this interesting, be sure to stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll check you in the next one. Cheers.